Welcome to Arizona Central, your one-stop shop for everything Arizona Cardinals and the OMFL. Thank you for tuning into the show today. We're going to recap very quickly our off-season plans. After coming off of an up and down season 70 for the Cardinals, we really need to turn our attention to a very down offense, an offense that really took a hit, and quite frankly, a game that plays completely different now that Madden has released this latest update. The game feels different, the game plays different, and after putting the vote out there to the league commissioners, the league owners, the league coaches all decided to leave everything alone. Don't touch the speed, don't adjust it back, don't change the run blocking or pass blocking or any of that. Leave it alone. Let us play with it as it is. And so that's what we're going to do, which means that we have to change our focus here in Arizona over to moving towards how the new game plays. Again, our offense was very much down this season, really took a hit. Jimmy Garoppolo was coming off a very good season in season 69, but in season 70, he really did not play well at all, having way too many turnovers, way too many sacks. Our offensive line that we'd sunk a lot of money into and a lot of investment into really didn't pan out. A lot of our veterans started to really crash and burn and not to play up to their standards. We lost 3 of those guys this start of this offseason, either because we need to cut to save money, because they weren't playing well, or retirement, which means we have to rebuild our offensive line. We also lost all of our running backs, and so we have to go out there and find some running backs. We're going to start to look at what is out there as far as quarterback, whether we draft one, whether we stick it out with Jimmy and just play better. And then we got to look at our defense. We have to start to get more pressure up the middle. We have to get better linebacker play, and we've got to get someone to play much better in the defensive backfield as far as creating turnovers, the way Patrick Peterson did this season, but we haven't been able to find those pieces. Reed really was a flop for us. Outside of one game with the Bears, he really didn't play well at all. We ended up cutting ties with him. And overall, the team just played down. We were able to get into the playoffs, but just barely, and we were one and done again this season. David Johnson was traded away. Amir Abdullah walked after not accepting a 4-year offer. Jimmy Garoppolo again played not up to his standards. Malcolm Floyd ended up having to be cut ties with. He just was making too much money, but still very much a playmaker. The Tampa Bay Bucks signed him. They're getting a player that is playing really well and will play well for them. Jeff Janis, we ended up having to cut ties with. He just regressed too much and played well for us, made some good plays, but we are looking to add some more explosiveness back to this offense and being able to find some players. And we feel like we have some players that are on the bench that just haven't had a lot of playing opportunities that we're going to give playing opportunities, such as a J.J. Nelson, such as a Mealy. We have guys like that we feel like are going to be able to make some plays for us. Tobin Ofram was also cut ties with just because we found some other opportunities that we feel like are going to play better. The halfback who moved over to running back who moved over to fullback for us played well, but missed some key blocks, and really overall our rushing game was not good. Eric Reed, I should say, we cut ties with. We love the LSU safety, but he just didn't make plays for us for the money that he was making. Only 1 sack, 4 forced fumbles, actually came in 1 game. It was an outstanding game, but that's all he did all season. We also are looking to make some moves with our outside linebackers. We need to bring in some playmakers, some guys that can come in and make the plays necessary. We ended up cutting ties with Marwin Evans. The safety project just didn't work out for us, and also Fairley. Again, these guys just didn't make the plays that we needed them to make, and we were looking for some more explosiveness. So we took about $22 million into the offseason after using our one-time cap clearance. It worked out well for us, and we were able to go after 4 key guys that we had our eye on, all on offense. I'm going to tune in to the next Press Pass Live if you want my thoughts and feelings about the free agency period. A lot of big names out there, a lot of money being spent, but we went bargain hunting, and we figured that we actually spent our money well and came out with some playmakers. One of the first guys that we bought in was Kenny Stills. Kenny is a 27-year-old, 78 overall wide receiver. He still has decent speed and acceleration. He's in the 92 range. Weren't able to get Daddy Leaks to update. That Madden app is frustrating, so I couldn't show you his stats. But Kenny actually signed a very low deal. We got him for around 38 to 40 points, and so we got him on the cheap. We feel like he's a guy that can come in, play possibly a starting position for us, opposite of John Brown. Yeah, look for us to draft some players, and he will have to battle that out. But he definitely, we feel like, is a player for us. He can come in, he can make some difficult catches, and we just got him so cheap. It was too much of a bargain to not bring in Kenny Stills, a receiver that we know back from our days of being the Saints coach when he was on the Saints team, and we feel like he can still play plays, and he's still young enough that he shouldn't regress anytime soon. Our next guy was Danny Vitale. This was a guy that we had our eye on, decided not to make a run for, and then ended up going back to because some other deals fell through, which opened up some money for us. Danny Vitale is a 25-year-old fullback who's 82 overall. This guy has speed, catching ability, blocking ability, smarts. He needs some work in the awareness. We do have to get that up more. I mean, he's not there yet, but overall, this guy is a playmaker. He has quick devo. He is somebody that we're very excited about. We feel like fullback is a very underrated position, a position that is needed and can really change the way your offense runs when you get a guy that can run like Danny Vitale can, catch the ball, and still block and open up holes. So we're excited to add Danny Vitale into the fold, into the Cardinal family, and that cut ties with Orpheum, who now is a free agent. Our next guy was Brock Osweiler, the 28-year-old quarterback, 82 overall, comes over from the Texans. He was a free agent. This was one of those things where we were very frustrated with the play of Jimmy Garoppolo, especially in that last game. The throws were just so bad, really threw our season away this year. And the fact that no one else actually went after Brock. He has 96 throwing power. He's in the high 80s in short and medium accuracy. After some work, we feel like we can get him to 90, which is what Jimmy is. And we also have his deep throwing power, which is 82. That's something that Jimmy struggled with this season and really didn't do well. And so we are excited to bring Brock into the fold. Really and truly, if anyone would have battled us for him, we would have stuck it out with Jimmy. We like Jimmy, but we got him on the cheap, and no one else really went after him. And this opened up the opportunity now that we'll have a solid backup in Jimmy, or we could even trade Jimmy for a second rounder and really build up in the draft. But we're excited to add Brock's big arm. We feel like that we can do a couple of things with our incentive programs that we have and with the points that he'll gather in the preseason, and that he will be our starter come week 1. And then finally, we added Keith Marshall, the 25-year-old running back, to 79 overall. He brings a lot of speed and strength and opportunity to really increase our rushing game. We have struggled since the start of this Madden. We could not find the right holes with David Johnson. We thought Amir Abdullah would do the trick. That didn't work out. We actually tried to trade for Keith late in the season, but the Saints weren't willing to budge. He was a free agent. And again, outside of Cincinnati, no one actually went after him. And we feel like we got him on a bargain deal. And he's young, he's fast, he's strong. He can hit the holes. He is not a finished product by any means, but he is very, very close. And we feel like we can get him there with just a few moves. And we are excited to add Keith Marshall to the Arizona Cardinal family. And that is a look at all of our free agent moves. We are sitting with about $15 million left after those 4 signings. We may go bargain shopping, but really our attention and our focus has changed to the draft. We would like to make a move or two to pick up some more draft picks, but the trade atmosphere is pretty quiet here in the OMFL. We did introduce a new trade calendar, and I'm not quite sure if the calculator is keeping people from doing it, or if people are just being very quiet. But the Arizona Cardinals feel very good about where we sit right now. We feel very good about our season, and we feel like we are building towards making a run again in a very stacked NFC. It's going to be tough. It won't be easy. It's going to take better play from us. But with a couple of more moves on the offensive line, we still have some needs there in the interior defensive line. We still have some needs on the defensive backfield. We did make a move for a Colts cornerback that will come in and play nickel for us. We'll cover that in the post-draft video that we'll do. But as of right now, we feel very good about where we're at. We're looking to make a couple more moves, but our attention really now has focused to scouting and to making sure that we are ready for the OMFL draft that will take place this Friday. So thank you for tuning in to Arizona Cardinals Central News. Thank you for listening to our recap for the offseason. Tune in next time as we recap the draft and get ready for season 71.